Welcome back to the AfterCon podcast.
Today we are on episode 4.
Yes, big number 4.
So last week, guys, we talked about the different types of conventions. We kind of realized that we left a couple off that we wanted to talk about today. Mainly things that existed pre-COVID times, but definitely got more popular because of people not being able to go to conventions for a couple of years. So those two things are virtual conventions and the Cameo app.
Right. Now, Cameo has been around for a while, pre-COVID, but it got really popular, like you said, during COVID because we need our celebrity fixes.
Right.
There's not many ways to get that.
Yeah. So starting out with the virtual conventions, some of these companies that thrive off of, hosting a convention once a year, or the ones that, rotate from city to city, state to state, those companies needed to stay afloat. And you could very well tell that they were scrambling. Even San Diego Comic-Con tried to do one virtual, and they don't work well, frankly.
They don't.
We wasted, admittedly, money, I feel like, kind of doing what we did, but it was fun to try.
We just needed to see what it was all about, really, but it was a waste.
Yeah. They try to, generally these virtual conventions, what they try to do is they want to host rooms of videos of things that you could normally do at a convention, but it's not fun. You're not even there. It's just like
It's like you're watching a show on TV.
Right. So we wanted to try doing some video conferencing with a few different actors.
Well, the first one we did, it wasn't even a video conference, remember? Like, we just legit watched a little panel.
Oh, yeah. So the first one we did was with Daniel Counts and
Kimberly Brown.
from Halloween Town.
I don't know if you have any Halloween Town
2, I guess Daniel Counts isn't in the
fans
first.
out there. It was pretty popular when we were little kids.
It was. Rewatching them as an adult, like
Not
I did the Halloween before last, not great.
Not great. They don't hold up well, but for nostalgia purposes.
Barely.
And these two, apparently, they met on this. Well,
They met during Halloween Town
I
too.
don't think they got together until years later.
Right. Yes.
At any rate.
So they're a couple now, and they did theirs actually from their apartment. They, it was an online room that we were able to join. And you're right, this one was not just us there. They weren't talking directly to us. They were just kind of chatting with the audience and answering some questions.
At-home panel of sorts.
Right.
I don't even think they charged us, did they, for this one?
No, they didn't.
I think it was free.
Yep. And so
As it should have been.
As it should have been. And granted, given who the celebrities were in this case, we didn't care about either of them. We were doing this because we just wanted to get a sense of what they were.
Yeah.
And admittedly, it could have been other celebrities, and it would have just been like watching an interview from a talk show host. But yeah,
Correct.
I mean, that's really what it was.
I don't think they're good.
No.
Not worth it.
You go for the experience of seeing the people in real life.
Right.
Again, so, in the off chance that you're able to get a one-on-one, which we did with another actor, where you can, have that experience and you can ask them some questions, that to me is a more beneficial use of time and money. So,
All resources.
Kayla found that during a virtual convention, there were a few actors. This was just this past summer or last spring.
Somewhere in there.
That we could get one-on-one time with an actor via video conferencing.
And it's the one-on-one time is what, like 60 seconds?
Yeah.
It's insane.
That minute feels like forever. We even tried to plan some questions for it, but we met Tim Curry.
Right.
Who people love from things like Clue, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Congo, and the man's done a lot of stuff, and I think we didn't know. No, I didn't say Home Alone 2.
Nailed it.
The Bellhop?
He's not the Bellhop. The Bellhop is Rob Schneider.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was like the hotel manager.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever.
One of the stuff.
Yeah.
So we got into this room with Tim Curry. Now, I'll admit this was partially our fault because Tim Curry is not in good health today.
Right.
We didn't know that at that time, and
Well, I feel like we knew, but we didn't know how bad.
right. He was living in his home in some random state.
Pretty sure it was LA.
Was it?
I
Okay.
think so.
And he couldn't talk a whole lot just due to his physical health. And this 60 seconds quickly turned into what felt like forever.
Because it was us just like trying to come up with the questions to get a brief answer, come up with another question and get a brief answer. And it was expensive. I feel like I shelled out, or we did, like
It was over $100
yeah,
for it.
for a 1 minute conversation.
And again, so it's another way for these people to make money hand over fist.
Granted, I feel like
It was
if
still
it-
cool to
if-
talk to him, don't
if
get me
it-
wrong.
Right. I feel like if it were maybe a different celebrity, like that's relevant today, like I'm gonna go again. If it were Chris Hemsworth or even like Jensen Ackles, I would have paid him for a minute just to have a
Oh,
intimate
absolutely.
conversation with this man. So I think it was just
It was circumstantial to Tim Curry. Now, I'll say this. If Tim Curry were in better health and it was a more enjoyable time because of that, I don't slight him for that again. I would say that's our bad there. The conversation just felt really awkward the whole time. So
I feel like if
he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still doing these.
I don't know.
If they are, I don't know. Maybe I'd recommend if you were a big fan of somebody that was doing it,
Right.
putting it on, then maybe yes.
Yeah.
If you're not really a big fan and you're just doing it to do something, maybe no.
Mm-hmm. And so this is a good segue into similar but different, the Cameo app. The Cameo app, I don't remember exactly how we found out about it per se, because it's been around the apps existed, I just checked, for over 12 years now. I hadn't heard about it until roughly before COVID.
Yeah.
I went and bought a Cameo. Any celebrity out there can put themselves on Cameo. And I think that they set the amount of time that you can pay for up to like maybe 60 to 90 seconds. And you can send them a short message, if there's something that you specifically want to have them talk to you about. Like for Kayla, I think the first thing that I did was with Michael Rosenbaum, and I said, hey, something along the lines of like, it's her birthday coming up. Can you wish her a happy birthday? Michael Rosenbaum.
You also
Lex
mentioned that I was
Luthor,
killing it
Smallville.
in our workout competitions.
You did. We were doing workout competitions at the time. Kayla won, hence me buying it for her as her birthday present. Right.
Yeah.
Expensive. It was like $120 for this time with Michael Rosenbaum. Now, the difference with this is it's not live. You're sending them a message and they're sending you back a recorded video. Still very, very cool. And I think the other reason that these have gotten so popular, you're hearing more and more people using Cameo, but for people who are like sick in the hospital, like it's a great way for them to be able to speak to people who, they can't always come to visit this,
Right.
kids and people who want to meet somebody. So that is something that it's proven very beneficial for. Who else have we done with Cameo? We've only used it a few times.
You did it with Mark Shepard.
Mark
You
Shepard.
set one up because we were getting together to watch the series finale of Supernatural.
Ah, right. Yes.
And so you had him, he had got killed off a couple seasons prior, but you
Yeah.
had him do a little memo to us watching the finale.
Right. Yeah. Mark Shepard, great guy. And then you got one for our sister.
Yep, we got her a housewife of Miami, Marisol Patton,
Right.
for our sister's, what was it, 33rd? Did she just turn 33 birthday? Yeah?
No, she's turning 30.
Yeah, so
She's turning 30.
Marisol did a great job too. These housewives, there's a lot of them on there, and they do top notch work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So again,
I feel like they get decent money from, like they
I'm
get
sure they do.
good money from doing these.
Like it's basketball players, it's athletes, like
It's anyone.
it's literally anybody that
Is a
somebody.
public figure.
If you're like somebody would pay
Maybe we'll start
to
doing
see me,
Cameo.
right? We'll get ourselves
We'll
on
get there.
Cameo.
We'll
Yeah.
get there.
After 50 subscribers, we're gonna get ourselves on Cameo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shoot our shot,
It'll be cheap.
right?
Right. We won't. Run.
So yeah, these are the ways without having to go somewhere physical that you can still get that experience of, hearing directly from somebody. But again, that in my opinion is Cameo's kind of like only downfall is it'd be great if if you could use it to coordinate a time to speak with somebody
Sure.
live.
Yes,
Um,
that'd be great because then
But-
again, that'd be like the virtual thing.
Right. And the benefit for them doing this is, they after you order it, they set how long they have to send a response or you get refunded. Maybe they end up getting busy. But I remember with like Mark Shepard, he was literally, I think, like in his backyard on a little patio set and he was drinking coffee at home while he was sending it. Like these guys can do it in their car,
Anywhere.
wherever they
Michael
want.
Rosenbaum did it, yeah, I think in the car.
Yep.
He was getting driven somewhere. Yeah.
So it's still very cool though, and it gives you that platform that you can hear from somebody,
So like for any BravoCon people out there that are, watch Housewives stuff, in like the latest episode of the Ultimate Girls Trip that's airing right now, 3 of them they're all on vacation and they just decided to knock out a bunch of cameos while they were getting driven to some activity. And so 3 of the housewives were in the backseat of a car doing all their cameos.
Talking
at the
over
same
each
time.
other?
Yeah. I
Sure.
mean, but that's these women.
Right, and honestly, as a fan, you
You're like,
would
I gotta
love
knock
to
these
see it.
out. They're like, I gotta get paid.
Right.
Yeah, so
So yeah, it's a great way again for people to also even just promote themselves. The only downfall of this that I do not like is how much they charge.
I
To
think they
do
gotta
it.
set their own prices or
Yeah.
something.
Could be their
like that,
manager
but-
involved in that. But yeah, I think like typically on a low end for somebody on Cameo, you're probably looking at $80. Cameo also runs specials. I think the people can run individual specials for like holidays or if they
Mhm.
want a Black Friday Cameo, like those types of things exist too. So keep that in mind if you don't care when.
Maybe there'll be an upcoming holiday once this episode airs,
Right.
and there'll be a special going on. I don't know. We should check to see if they're still doing virtual conventions. I wouldn't think they would, but
Right. Yeah. Also, I'll say this: don't do them. Like my 2 cents, virtual conventions. If you're paying for anything on there,
right.
it's a waste of time unless it's a one-on-one. But if it's just watching a panel, hey, guess what? Wait for recording.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Not worth the panel. Mm-mm.